welcome back to my channel, y'all. Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Before we do anything here, the first thing we must do is pray. Okay, I'm gonna insert my prayer here. You say it with me so you know who I am, why I'm here, and this is what the Bible said. Now that we back and we rebuked all negative energies, all bad vibes, let's get into it. Let's get started. All right, so welcome back, you guys, and I hope you are having a fantastic day today. I have been out of the loop because I have no social media. I do not have social media apps on my phone. I do, however, have YouTube, of course. So a lot of the information I get will have to come from YouTube. So I log into YouTube, and immediately last week I saw so much videos about Kanye, and I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? Right? So I attempt to watch the entire interview he did on Fox. And, you know, I've seen other videos of people having a console on what he have said or what he have done. And, you know, learning about him and reading about him and just building my history and educating myself on him and what he stands for, I said, wow, this is a lesson. This is a lesson for the world to understand. And what do I mean by that is I feel like this is a prime example of a person who tries to escape or remove themselves from evilness or unbalanced energies, and they're trying to walk their path with God. When you are living a particular lifestyle, right, and you are giving that lifestyle up to go and live the lifestyle of God and live a righteous path, that beast is not going to let you go easily. He will not allow you to go easily at all. There will be, he's not going out. Pretty much, he will not let you go without a fight. He will not let you go without a fight. And I feel like that's what we're seeing with Kanye, is like he is trying to, this is how I feel, this is my opinion, that he may be, you know, trying to walk the path, the righteous paths, and he's just being pulled back by the beast and his army and a lot of unbalanced energies. And I feel like this is definitely a moment, a learning moment, a moment of education, a moment of just learning. And, you know, when you walk with God, you definitely have to be radical. Radical is the word I want to use. You definitely have to be radical. When you think of Martin Luther King, he was radical. When you think of Harriet Tubman, she was radical. When you think of Moses, he was radical. When you think of David, he was radical. When you think of Kanye, he's radical. So when you think of Colin Kaepernick, radical. So you definitely have to be radical. You have to be radical, and you have to be willing to not have fear, because you're going to go up against an army, and not everyone is going to understand it. So I really do think that this is a learning lesson, and I kind of want to go straight to Isaiah chapter 30, and I really want to read from 9 to chapter 30, verse 9 to 12, all right? And 9, it says that this is a rebellious soul. It's speaking of God had spoke words and had them put it on a scroll that he may send it to the town for the people to hear the words from God. So it says, now this is a rebellious people. So they're bringing a scroll to a town of rebellious people, right? So 9 says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children who will not hear the law of the Lord. It says, who says that the seers do not see, and to the prophets do not prophesy to us bright things, speak to us smooth things, prophecy, deceit. Get out of the way, turn aside from the paths, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And the last one is 12. It says, therefore, thus says the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word and trust in oppression and perversity and rely on them. Right? So it's basically saying that, when you do not seek truth, and this is what I get from it, I feel like it's saying, my understanding of this passage is that if you seek lies and deceit, then you will not understand truth. And when Kanye said something that was extremely important, and this is not a headline, and it baffles me that this is not a headline. So, but yet his t-shirt was a headline. So let me insert the clip of what he said, and I'll be right back.
You could put out all of the indoctrinations and, moves and have the biggest media company, but why am I alive? Why am I protected? Why did I become the richest black man of all time? Like, how did that happen? And the more and more I lean into God and work for God, the more wins God is going to bestow on our team, on Jesus Gang. And for me to go out and just state an obvious and empathetic statement in the middle of the most liberal central, that was like Tiananmen Square or something, right? I was like, with Candace Owens, and we both wore the shirt at the same time. We got some Jesus soldiers out here, and people say they're willing to die for it, but we live for it. We're living for the battle. And what's the battle for? Life itself, our children. They're killing us through the food. They're killing us through the content. They're killing us through the programming. But God is alive and is alive in all of us, and we will overcome.
All right, so he said something really important. When the interviewer asked him, what do he think people will say? He shared that he don't work for people, he worked for God. And I really felt that energy. And I said, why is this not a topic? Why is him mentioning God consistently in multiple videos, him mentioning God never a topic? You understand? It's always the radical behavior that's a topic, but it's never, his mentions of God. And I said, people are missing such a valuable piece to the puzzle. And for him to say that, I said, let's look at his fruits, right? Currently, because the Bible do tell us. If I'm watching carefully and discerning what he's saying in the interview, he didn't come off as someone that was being malice or vicious or malicious. He came off as somebody that wanted to be heard, that wanted to be seen, and that wanted to be understood. And I said, they're painting a narrative, and I don't want to judge him off that narrative they're painting. I want to judge him off of what he is ultimately wanting to portray to us, the viewers who's watching it, who's judging it, who's having their discernment or their opinion on what he had to say or do. So I said, okay, he definitely is walking with no fear. So that is not of the beast. The beast will walk in fear. This man is willing to compromise his livelihood, He's willing to go against the grain, and the grain is Hollywood. He's willing to walk alone. He's turning down $1 million deals. So I say to myself, why would he do these things? He, of course he's already rich, right? He's already have the finances of it. I said, so why would he need to be radical and in a situation where he's already winning, right? So I'm reading Isaiah, and I felt like that was an answer for me, because it says, people will not hear the law of the Lord, because they want to be fed lies. They want to be fed deceit. They want to be fed promiscuous energy. They want to be fed fatherless homes. They want to be fed scandalous women. They want to be fed sexualized things, and I can continue to go on, but he's not feeding that energy. So people want to judge him like, well, you did this, well, you did this. You have to judge him off of what he's doing currently and what he's doing today. So I think that this is a time where you have to watch what's happening and see what is his fruit. So media wants to feed the people who are watching. Media want to feed us perverse things constantly, and it's like, why is the headline not he walks with God, he works for God? Why is that not a headline? And it's strange that the headline not, he wanted to buy a home to be closer to his family. Why is the headline not he said that he works for God? Why is these things not headlines? And that he walks with no fear. So it's a big topic. Everyone is talking about it, and I'm not hearing anyone mention him speak of God and his acknowledgement of God's presence. And I took that to be really strange. So I'm gonna mention it because I feel like that's important. And not everyone will understand your paths and your journeys, and not everyone will like you when you are being radical or when you are leaving the perverse lifestyle to go into a righteous lifestyle. And some examples that I would like to use is, Martin Luther King, when he was changing our lives, when he was changing the narrative of the future, there was a woman who stabbed him. He ends up being in the hospital for multiple days. You have Harriet Tubman, who she wanted to take more people with her, but she couldn't, because she couldn't trust everyone because someone would have snitched on her. So could you imagine, I'm putting my life on the line to save you to freedom, and I have to be cautious of who I take with me out of being apprehensive because someone may spill the information. So, and I can go on, Oprah Winfrey had a situation where she was getting sued by the meat industry. A few years ago, she got sued by the meat industry because she said something about a hamburger. So, there's multiple stories where when you are removing yourself from certain energies and you trying to walk into a righteous path, that people will not understand it. People will go against you. People will talk about your past. People will talk about who you were. And I just want to say, judge him based on what he's saying today. Judge him based on what he's saying. Every day you judge a person by the day, and you leave their past where their past is at. We have to allow people to grow. We have to allow people to become themselves, and we have to allow people to learn themselves and understand that life is one big classroom, and we constantly are learning, we constantly are growing, and we are constantly trying to figure out ourselves. So it's important to judge a person that's in your life, right? I think judging a person that's in your life is super valuable. However, when you judge people that you don't know, just factor in the fruits of their labor. So that's what I had to say about that subject. And him going against the grain, media. And I chuckled when he said that the media was full of ungodly people. I chuckled and I said, why is this not a headline? But Fox made it a headline, so I thought that was awesome. Like, Yeah, expose the beast, expose his people, and continue to expose the evildoers and be radical about it. You know, that's what makes the changes in life, is when you are radical and you walk in the truth, and that you want to value truth. I feel like media wants us to value lies. Media wants to paint pictures of perverse things, and we have to discern truth. We have to constantly seek truth, and we have to be intentional. What is intentional? We have to be intentional. We have to be cautious. No. We have to be prudent, and we have to judge effectively. Judge effectively. So that's my take on things, and it's not really like a learning lesson, more or less like my understanding to what I see that's happening around me, and being able to decipher what is happening. So the Bible do tell us that people will prefer to hear lies than they would prefer to hear truth, especially if it's coming from someone who had a past. And everyone will have a past, but it's about what they're doing now, what they're doing today. And people may not have been around you for a year, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, and they will still discuss your past. They will still judge you off your past. So you have to continue to make decisions for you, for your future, and keep walking those paths. Whether people see you making changes or not, you know what you're doing. You know your walk with God, and it don't have to be explained. It's one of those things that is between you and God. And the fruits of your labor will showcase itself. So anyway, thank you for watching my video today. Make sure if you like this video, if you love this video, make sure you smash that like button. And whatever you do today, make sure you do it with kindness. Thank you for watching my channel.